Russia and North Korea signed the Tumen River Highway Bridge Agreement. China and Russia exchanged territories. How should the Northeast go to the sea be implemented? According to the Russian satellite news agency, during his recent visit to North Korea, Russian President Putin also discussed cooperation between the two countries and made many strategies in future strategies. The most critical part of this is that the two countries reached an agreement to build a cross-border highway bridge over the Tumen River. The Tumen River outlet problem is much faster than we thought. But it is far from enough to just open the Tumen River outlet, so how should the Northeast go to the sea problem be implemented? Let us take a closer look in this video. Since the late Qing dynasty, when 1 million square kilometers of outer northeast China was ceded to Tsarist Russia, Tsarist Russia replaced China in gaining dominance in Northeast Asia. As a result, China lost its effective outlet to the Sea of Japan, resulting in the need for goods from Jilin and Heilongjiang to detour through Dalian port for a long time. Originally, the Tumen River estuary was the only channel for northeast China to enter and exit the Sea of Japan, but due to various factors such as World War II, China was unable to go to sea from the Tumen River. It was not until 1992 that China finally restored the right to go to the sea on the Tumen River, with the approval of the two countries. However, during the Korean War, the Soviet Union built a Russian-North Korean friendship bridge on the Tumen River. The bridge is 530 meters long and is located not far downstream from Fengchuan Village, Hunchun City, Jilin Province, China. The bridge is less than 10 meters above the water surface, and there are 7 or 8 large bridge piers across the river, which makes it impossible for ships over 300 tons to pass. This also means that even if China restores the right to go to the sea on the Tumen River, it cannot go to sea normally. For a long time in the past, China has repeatedly proposed to Russia and North Korea to reopen the Tumen River estuary. However, due to the geopolitical pattern and the strategic direction of Russia and North Korea, this issue has been delayed. But now, with the changes in the international situation and Russia's geostrategic strategy, this issue has finally had new hope. At the 8th Eastern Economic Forum in Russia last year, China once again proposed in front of Russia and North Korea to jointly promote the opening of the Tumen River estuary. The Tumen River Bridge will be dismantled and rebuilt to facilitate the three parties to go to the sea through the Tumen River. Russia showed a certain intention at the time and had great expectations for inviting China to develop the Far East. Just last month, China and Russia finally reached a consensus and clearly mentioned in the joint statement that China and Russia will conduct constructive dialogue with North Korea on the issue of Chinese ships sailing through the lower reaches of the Tumen River. Less than a month later, while signing a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty with North Korea, Russia also reached another key agreement, that is, Russia intends to discuss with North Korea the construction of a highway bridge across the Tumen River, and the site is probably located near the existing railway bridge on the Tumen River. Based on expectations, the total length of the new highway bridge is about 850 meters. Next, Russia and North Korea may speed up the coordination of this bridge issue with China. Russian experts believe that in order to maximize the interests of both Russia and North Korea on the issue of the new highway bridge, Russia and North Korea need to build road traffic and other infrastructure on both sides of the Tumen River as soon as possible, and realize mutual linkage. At the same time, both sides also need to consider the border port plan with China in the Tumen River area, and on this basis, launch more cross-border cooperation projects. However, the original Russian-North Korean friendship bridge has irreplaceable historical and symbolic significance. Therefore, whether the old bridge should be demolished or rebuilt requires mutual coordination and in-depth discussion among China, Russia, and North Korea. Judging from Russia's various performances, it is indeed fulfilling its previous promises to China step by step. At the same time, the rapid progress of China, Russia, and North Korea on the issue of Tumen River access to the sea has also aroused concerns from Japanese public opinion. Japan believes that if China opens the Tumen River estuary, it is very likely that it will build a naval shipyard or naval base in the Tumen River area and radiate its military power to the Sea of Japan. But in fact, the width and depth of the Tumen River estuary are very limited, and it is difficult for large ships to sail here. If northeast China wants to truly obtain an effective estuary, building a seaport is more advantageous than a river port. From the geographical conditions near the Tumen River estuary, if you want to build a seaport in the area, the most suitable one is Posset Bay. Posset Bay is a bay located at the southern end of the Primorsky Krai of Russia. It is part of Peter the Great Bay. Historically, it belonged to China and was called Mokowa Bay. After the signing of the Qing-Russia-Beijing Treaty in 1860, it was forced to cede it to Tsarist Russia. The bay is about 33 kilometers long and 31 kilometers wide. The coast is winding and divided by peninsulas such as the Krabi Peninsula, the Novogrodsky Peninsula, and the Zarabino Peninsula. Therefore, small semi-enclosed bays such as Qinghai Bay, Novgorod Bay, and Troitsa Bay were formed near the coastal areas, which are very concealed. In addition, the waters of Posset Bay are wide, the water depth of the outer port is about 10 to 20 meters, and the water depth of the inner port is less than 6 meters, which can accommodate 10,000-ton ships. Russia has built the port of Posset inside the bay and the port of Zarabino on the north side of the outer bay mouth. The average water depth from the port of Posset to the bay mouth can reach 17 meters, and the shipping conditions are much higher than the Tumen River estuary. It is an ideal location for the construction of a large seaport group. Posset Bay is less than 4 kilometers away from the Chinese border and is the closest point for China to the Sea of Japan. If a small part of the territory along the coast of Posset Bay can be obtained, Jilin can directly connect with the Sea of Japan, and there is no need to consider the shipping restrictions at the Tumen River estuary in the future. However, since Russia had clearly enacted legislation in 2020 to prohibit the cession of territory, and the Sino-Russian border was officially determined as early as 2008, it is unlikely to regain the coastal territory of Posset Bay. However, some experts have pointed out that China and Russia can actually consider land exchange without harming the interests of all parties, and respecting the territorial integrity of the two countries. Of course, in addition to exchanging territory for territory, the exchange here can also consider exchanging interests for land use rights, which is usually called leasing. For example, China, Russia, and North Korea jointly built a large cross-border special economic zone near the Tumen River estuary. China provides technical funds to build ports and logistics and trade facilities, while Russia and North Korea are responsible for providing land and construction materials. After completion, China obtains certain rights to use the port, and under a sound cooperation framework, the three countries each get what they need. Since the outbreak of the Crimea incident in 2014, the relationship between Russia and Europe has been very delicate. The Russian-Ukrainian conflict has also attracted large-scale sanctions and pressure from the West, which has further intensified Russia's determination to look east. However, if it wants to turn from the European market that has been operating for many years to the Asian market, it must develop the Far East as soon as possible. In this context, Russia needs to establish more ports and trade channels in Asia, and China has become the only choice to achieve this goal. However, Northeast China, which is directly connected to the Far East, is also facing development bottlenecks, and the lack of an effective outlet is one of the biggest stumbling blocks. In this case, China and Russia have the same goal, and it will become a natural thing to jointly build a new port and logistics base on the Tumen River. Today, this issue is being steadily advanced step by step. Once China can directly enter the Sea of Japan in the future, the entire geopolitical structure of Northeast Asia will undergo major changes, but it will also face more uncertainties. Next, if we want to make breakthrough progress, China, Russia and North Korea still need to work together and fully negotiate to truly open up a win-win situation. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.